Okay, guys, it's nice to do this with you. This is actually my first World Cup video so far. So let's get down to business. Ernest, I'll
Yeah.
start with you. You know, this World
Okay.
Cup has been filled with so many upsets. Like everybody has been shocked with the results so far. So, which is your biggest upset?
Um, Definitely Brazil. You know, definitely Brazil is my biggest upset because it's one team I look up to in terms of when you analyze the players and what they have been doing in their clubs. Each one of them is in the first team. Each one of them is a starter any day in all the teams and clubs they play for in all the leagues in the world. And they play in powerful leagues too. And even some of them, the few of them who play in Brazil, they are on top of the list. So I really didn't find any reason why Brazil should be out by now, but they are out, and that's really the most shocking of all that has happened. In the negative side, if you want me to talk about the positive side, I'll come to that. But I think you're asking me the greatest upsets, which I
Upsets.
think
Yeah.
is in the negative, and Brazil is one. When we talk about the positive, I will come back to that. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, just so which team now are you seeing in the semi-final that you don't think you never thought to be there?
Of course, our great team, the only standing African team, Morocco.
See,
It
Ben is
is,
smiling.
it is, it is, it is something nobody, even the Moroccan players themselves, never anticipated. I think that
Eto called it.
in their mind, they were thinking like, okay, let's just go and break a record, like getting to quarterfinals for the first time. And look
Yeah.
at them. And they have every chance to win this World Cup. And I'm rooting for them from day one. My position at the start of this World Cup was I will support all African teams till none of them is standing. Then I can look to support any other team. So I supported all of them till now that one of them is standing, and Morocco will have my support till they win this cup or they get out of it. And then I will begin to think of any other country. But for now, no other country is in my mind about this World Cup except Morocco. So Morocco is the greatest upset. Had a coach just August this year. Imagine that. Where does it happen? Where does it happen? A local coach, August this year. How many months the World Cup? And you go there and perform this. People with Morocco's performance is not about luck. It is not luck. It is discipline. It is grinded. It is technical. It is tactical. It's everything you want in football. That's what they have been playing. Considered only one goal from an own goal. No other team has been magnificent enough to score against them. That tells you the brand of that team. And I support them to the finals, to anywhere they are going to reach. And so that's my greatest,
Positive
biggest
upset.
positive
Yeah.
upset. And I love it. Croatia too. Croatia is also there. Yeah.
Ben,
Yeah.
I will ask you. I saw a video of you crying when your team beat Portugal. You know, you never expected it. So, talk to me. What is it like?
Where do I start, man? Um, Listen, I've been following Morocco in the World Cup since I wouldn't say 86 is a little bit before my time, but 1990. We were very unlucky in that World Cup. And then obviously we didn't make the World Cup for 20 years. And then we got in 2018, pretty woeful, losing to Iran. We drew 2-2 with Spain in that World Cup because we had Spain in the group stage, I believe. Um, but what I'm witnessing now is just the thing is, it's not about where we are; it's how we've got there. It's like Ernest said, it's not luck. It's it's passion, it's determination. It's like we are the best team in the World Cup right now. Simple as that. We are because we've only conceded one own goal. We've got 7 clean sheets out of 8. Like the unbeaten. These are this you would expect to be with you know, Brazil stats with Brazil or Argentina or France, they haven't managed this. None of them have managed this. It's absolutely breathtaking. It's like I'm dreaming. Every time I'm pinching myself, it's like I'm dreaming. I can't believe what's happening. Little Moroccan side. And what makes it beautiful as well is we've got this coach, Regraoui. He's a Moroccan. He's not like some Dutch, you know, veteran manager or so. He's one of our own. You know, we say Ould Bled. He's Moroccan. He's local Moroccan. He's when he speaks like a proper Moroccan, you know, with the proper dialects and you know, like he's from, you know, from the streets. Like it's just I could go on all day about how amazing our story is in this World Cup. And you know, and the support as well is crazy. The support from Africa, the support from the Islamic world, the Middle East, the Arab world, the way you know, the World Cup's like the biggest stage for publicity. You know, you can get a lot of messages through the World Cup. The fact that we are pro-Palestine, we hold the Palestine flag whenever we can. You know, it's the biggest stage to highlight this. It's just so many reasons why Morocco remaining in this World Cup is just brilliant. It's absolutely amazing. And Eto called it. Eto said that it will be a Cameroon. No, is it Cameroon? He said, yeah, Cameroon Morocco final. He said. So he's kind of half getting it right, but we haven't made the final yet. But listen, every game we've played, you know, when it was Spain, I was like, I don't know, man.
You're out.
We're out. You know, the Belgium game was just complete utter madness. We played amazingly in that game. Belgium didn't even turn up, and then Portugal, and I'm like, okay, Portugal got all these great players, you know, and I thought we'd have a much tougher game. I didn't think we'd win in 90 minutes, that's for sure. So now I'm not even calling it anymore. France, bring it on, bring it on. You know, at the end of the day, if we can continue doing what we're doing, the thing is, there has been a little bit of luck. You know, listen, if you're going to win the World Cup, you need to rely on a touch of luck sometimes. And we've had it, especially against Portugal. You know, the Bruno Fernandes, when he hit the crossbar, lots of little things, you know. So if we can continue this run of luck, continue this amazing defense and this passion. And honestly, I'm an Arsenal fan. So every time, you know, when the times were bad at Arsenal, we used to complain and we used to criticize the players and the effort they used to put in. I look at that Moroccan team and I think this is what every football team should be doing. This is how they should be playing. This is the passion they should be putting into the games. When I used to complain about the Arsenal team of Unai Emery and the last stages of Arsene Wenger, there was nothing like the levels of passion and determination and work rate that these Moroccans put in. They work so hard, every single one of them. And that's the reason why we're here, you know? And, you know, you can look at other teams like Brazil and so on. There's a reason they're out. There's a reason they're out. But yeah, Brazil's a massive shock. But yeah, I don't know. Like, listen, France, bring it on. That's all I can say. Bring it on. I'm confident. I'm confident. Why? How can I not be?
Yeah, I get. So, Kuti, which game were you surprised the most? Like, shocked you the result?
For me, the biggest and the most shocking result definitely is Morocco against Portugal. Morocco against Portugal. I'm supporting Morocco as an African team. I wish they could win and all those things. Before the match, I was like, okay, let's see. Maybe the luck will continue for a while and everything. And I was shocked. They did it in 90 minutes. I was even saying, okay, even if they'll do it, maybe penalty shootout or something. But they did it in 90 minutes. And I mean, that was the biggest shock for me. Brazil against Croatia, I was a bit suspecting that Brazil might have it difficult because if you look at Brazil from 2006 till now, they've had issues with European teams, disciplined European teams. In 2006, it was an European team that knocked them out. 2010, 2014, you know. So I was kind of expecting that. But Morocco getting to the semifinals is like they crossed a voodoo that has been affecting African teams, you know, for a very long time. Ghana almost did it, but just a bit of luck, they couldn't do it. So Morocco getting to the semi-final was the biggest shock for me. And I mean, as an African as an African, I was really happy for them, and I hope they will go further. I mean, who says Morocco can
You
win?
were happy for them as an African or as a Messi fan, or which both?
No, no, no. Take Messi out of it. I mean, yeah, I didn't want Ronaldo to get to the final, of course, but that's out of it. I was even hoping, yeah, even Portugal gets meet Argentina. I knew Argentina can, or I feel Argentina can beat Portugal, but I was happy for them as an African, as a first of all, as an African team to get to the semi-final of the World Cup. I mean, I even heard that they are going to increase the slot for Africans now since Morocco is in the semi-final in subsequent World Cup. So that for me was, was a surprise. At the same time, was full of joy. Everything at the same time was happening to me. I wish I was in Moroccan on Saturday. I wish I was in Moroccan. But yeah, we are
You
still
are
looking forward
Moroccan. We
to
are all Moroccan now,
yeah.
man. Don't you know?
Yeah.
We are all
We are still
Moroccan now.
Africans. Yeah, we're all Moroccan
One of
now.
my
We are
friends
all,
has to
I
say
think
that he wanted to marry a Moroccan now. That he wants to get
Oh, but
engaged
that's
in Saturday.
listen. You didn't
I
listen. You
need a
don't have to wait
Moroccan
till the
name.
World Cup to decide you want to marry a Moroccan man.
Right now, I need a Moroccan name. I mean, so yeah, to me that was the biggest shock of the
Okay,
quarterfinal.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. So we are down to the semi-final now. It's Croatia,
Croatia,
Argentina,
Morocco, Argentina,
Morocco,
France.
and France. So, Ernest, I'll come back to you. What do you see happening? Which two teams do you see advancing to the final?
One of the things that this World Cup taught me is not to predict. I
Exactly.
mean, all my predictions.
I tell
I,
you.
I worked with you sometimes in behind the line talking about these games, chatting as the games go on. All my predictions have been, you know, fouled. So I
You are
really
not the
don't
only
want to
one.
make.
It's all of us.
Tell you, not
Yeah,
just
I really don't want
you.
to make any predictions, but um, they are going to be tough matches, and I see unless there is any serious mistake, I see all of them ending on penalties. Um, because it's going to be very tactical. And once games get tactical, what happens is that they play more defensive than attacking. In the first 15 minutes, there will be flurries of attack to see if goals will go. And if that does not happen, they start curtailing their moves so that they will down rely on counter to get it done. So that is what I foresee in what's going to happen. Between Croatia and Argentina has, I mean, Argentina has proven that they can be beaten. Forget about Saudi beating them, but all the games they have played so far, they were just at the nick of losing. So their defense
Yeah,
is penetrable. The defense
true.
is penetrable. Messi can be caged. These are lessons we have learned from their first match till now. Messi can be caged. And when Messi is caged, if you cage him well, he gets frustrated and it becomes difficult. To be honest with you, that match, that their last match, um, if things with Netherlands, if things were done the way it's supposed to be, they wouldn't have won that game. And Messi could have been on a red card. And maybe Van Dijk could have been on a red card. So a lot of things happened in that game that is not tolerable in many other games. So I believe that what Croatia can do, and which they are capable of doing, is to frustrate Argentina. If they frustrate Argentina, Argentina will get rude. That's what happened in Netherlands match. They will get rude. And it's not just Argentina, it's all the Latin American teams are fond of that. They will Uruguay, all of them, they will get rude. And when they get rude, a lot of fouls will be committed. And if they get a referee that is very, very meticulous and not tolerating any nonsense, a lot of cards will go. And there could be a red card going on. Croatia is a more disciplined team in terms of holding on, and they can withstand any tension. They have proven it again and again and again over
Now, very
this
resilient.
year.
Yeah.
So it's something they can do. So I expect them to Argentina, frustrate
And
them because
KG.
Argentina is really desperate about winning this World Cup, which is okay, like every other team is. They're really desperate because, for instance, Messi is one of their three very great players, and he's the only one among all the three that has not won the World Cup. Pele, Maradona, and him. I mean, you can't take away these things. I'm not his fan, but you can't take away the fact that he's one of the strongest players in the world. I mean, you have to give honor to whom honor is due. I'm not into this Ronaldo and Messi bashing. These are two great players. So
Yeah.
he is one of the biggest stars Argentina has produced, and is at the cusp of not winning a World Cup. Upon all his laurels, he has had more laurels than any others, even more than Messi. I mean, more than Pele and Maradona. He has had the laurels above them, but yet this one thing has eluded him. That is the World Cup. So the Argentine team are playing for their country to win, yes, but they're majorly playing to give Messi this thing he needed to be the greatest that is possible for him. So they are going to come out with everything. So if I were the coach of Croatia, my advice would be frustrate them. Once you frustrate them and they don't see a headway, they begin to commit fouls. They fall. I mean, and I'm not blacklisting any side, but they are prone to falling, pretentious faults, delaying games, all those extra legal activities they do. Latin American countries, they do it well. So if you are not careful, they will lead you into problems. But if you have a referee who is ready to call all shots, they might get into trouble. And all you can do is to frustrate them in the first 45, 60 minutes. And then all hell will let loose. That is the time you can now penetrate and deal with them. So that's my advice. That's what my advice with for Croatia. If Croatia is going to get
Yeah.
anything from Argentina. Now for France and Morocco, it's going to be a very balanced game. It's going to be a mind game. It's not going to be easy. If England was as good as they should be in terms of doing that mind game, they wouldn't have fallen to France. And I think that Morocco, like Argentina, has more things at stake than France. France will want to win back to back. I mean, that's it. That's it. That's historical. But
Yeah.
Morocco has a deeper ambition. France knows that if they lose, I mean, everybody will say they have tried. Morocco knows that if they lose, everybody will say they have tried. But they want to score one of the greatest historical marks by winning the World Cup. So they are going to go all out and see what they can do to France. My advice to Morocco would be, if I were that coach, my advice would be to play the same game they played against Portugal. Defend, fast counter. Defend, fast counter. That's what they did with Portugal, and it worked so well. So that's what you can do. As long as you can hold Mbappe. The problem with France is that they have a lot of scorers who can do things. So, but so far, it has only proven that Mbappe, maybe Giroud are the
Good.
ones that are their greatest scorers. So, if you can hold Mbappe, and then watch what Germany and what others will do, it will be okay. But that their hit fast game is one of the mysteries that I've discovered in Morocco. They continue. The speed they use to go for attack is like no other. No other. I've not seen any team with that kind of speed. Uh, England has it in Saka and all, but England gets to the front and then they delay. Morocco gets to the front and they hit. They hit. They will definitely hit, even if it's a miss. They're hitting. That's the point. That's what Morocco does. That is very fantastic. They will get to that run. Once they get there, they will try. They may miss hit, but they will definitely try. England will get there and then draw back and start passing around. Morocco doesn't do that. They get there, they hit. If it misses, okay. If it gets in, that's fine. So that's one thing I think they should continue to do with France. If they are able to contain France for a while, France will also get frustrated. And using those their hit, they are good. Morocco has everything that will make them win France. One thing we have not discussed about Morocco is the selection of their players. Morocco has some of the tallest players in this tournament. Nobody is thinking about that. And those things have been what they use in conquering teams every now and then. That's what they use in conquering Portugal. And it's very, very advantageous. Once the area ball comes in, if they can do what they
Yeah.
do, they will definitely
I think their
win.
last
So
goal scorer broke
this is
Ronaldo's record. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is my own thing. For the underdogs, Morocco and Croatia, frustrate them the first 45, 50 minutes, and then they will start committing fouls and everything that can get you going. Yeah.
Okay. Ben, what do you see happening in the semi-final?
Well, first of all, it's all about what referee is going to be officiating the game, because the referee against England and France was diabolical. So you can't factor in for that. So providing we get a referee that knows what they're doing and has had their eyes checked pretty recently, we should, I agree with a lot of what Ernest has said. I mean, I'm standing by my team. As far as I'm concerned, we're going to win the World Cup. And that's just how it is. And I think, yeah, Croatia are well drilled. Like Ernest said, Argentina, they've got it in them to have a freak loss. You can't lose against Saudi Arabia in the World Cup. I'm sorry. There's no excuses. I don't care that it was the first group stage. I don't care. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable that Messi and Argentina, it's unacceptable that they should draw against Saudi Arabia. To lose, for me, just there's a lot of, they've got a monkey on their back, Argentina, and they haven't got it off. So depending how they go into that game, will determine how the game ends. But I really fancy Croatia to beat Argentina. I think it will go penalties. And I think Croatia, when it comes to penalties, they're just very good. They're very good. I think this is their second successive semi-final. If they make the final, it'll be their second successive final as well. So we can't write Croatia off. And in regards to France, Morocco, again, the same thing. If we can, Mbappe is a problem. For me, he's the best player in the world. He's the quickest. He's he's ruthless, absolutely ruthless. The thing is with Messi and Mbappe, you can frustrate them for 89.5 minutes because they only need a second. Both of them. They need 2 yards and 1 second. That's all they need. And then the whole game changes on its head, And that's the only risk that's going to throw my prediction out the window. But if we can keep that consistency, if we can frustrate Mbappe, it's going to be a very physical game. It has to be a physical game. We have to impose ourselves physically, just as we have in all the other games. We have to bully them. We have to boss them. It will only take 1 or 2 Moroccan players to shy away from certain challenges and not put in the 100% before it's over for us. But if we can do what we've been doing, what we've done against Spain, what we've done against Belgium, what we've done against Portugal, I think there's no reason why we can't come out of that. Look, France are a top side, but they have flaws. The flaws that I'm talking about in France and Argentina, I believe we don't have. I just think what we do it well. What Argentina do, and what France do, it's not 100%. It's always, there's always a gap. There's always a chink in their armor, and they're entitled teams. Argentina, France, they're very entitled teams. They expect to win. Both of those teams are expecting to hold up the World Cup. We are not. We are just taking one game as it comes. Not even one game. We're taking every minute as it comes. If we get knocked out, I will not be upset. I think we'll still be celebrating on the streets because it's a huge achievement, and we're in the semi. It's just like earlier when Ernest said Morocco in the semi-final. I had to double take. I was like, are we? It doesn't sound right. I was like, are we in the semi-final? Oh yeah, we're in the semi-final.
And you're gonna play for 3rd place, right? So, I mean,
so I'm gonna go with Croatia, Morocco final, and Morocco to win it. 2-1. 2-1 for Morocco, and we hold off the World Cup for Africa, man.
Okay, so Kitty, your turn.
Very interesting conversation. Man, it's actually difficult to choose. and I have my reasons. It's actually difficult to do. So first of all, I feel like the four teams are equal. And for the very first time in a long while, in the World Cup semi-final, there's no one team that you say, oh, this team is distinct. This team might go straight to the final. I mean, if Brazil had qualified, maybe Brazil would have been that team. But now we don't have Brazil. And I would say all the four teams are equal. They have their strengths and weaknesses. And all of them have something to play for. Argentina haven't won the World Cup since 1986. They are desperate for it. Messi wants it. I mean, I was telling you the other day that I think it's going to be a crime for football if Messi does not win the World Cup. So yeah, there's that. There's the Messi wanted to win the World Cup, and they've not won the World Cup since 1986. They've had great teams, and they never won the World Cup after that. So I think they have something to play for. Croatia, last World Cup finalist. I think they would also want to get there and show that, oh, we are not a fluke, and probably winning. So they have something to play for. Morocco, the underdog, the unexpected visitor in the semi-final, the team that is carrying the whole African hope. I mean, they have something to prove, and they have something to show to us that, okay, them getting to the semi-final is not actually a fluke. It's like they know what they're doing, and I mean, they have the whole of Africa on their shoulders. That is also something for them. Then France will want to retain the World Cup, record breaker, and all those things. So I feel like all the four teams have something to play for. All the four teams have equal chances of getting to the World Cup final. All the four teams have what it takes. What is going to matter in the match is going to be the tactics and who perfects their tactics very well. I mean, the first one, which is going to be Argentina, Croatia, like Ben said, you can cage Messi for 90 minutes. All you just need is 30. I mean, it just needs 2 seconds and 2 yards, or 1 second and 2 yards. Messi, I don't feel is at the stage in his career right now whereby he doesn't need to play all the time for 90 minutes. You don't need to see him all the time for 90 minutes. You just need that split second for him to show his brilliance. And how well can you cage him for 90 minutes? It has actually been tough. It has actually been tough to cage Messi for 90 minutes. He has been turning up. And Messi is a very big factor. Yeah, I feel Croatia has a very strong defense. I feel, yeah, they are strong. Their midfield is actually very strong. You could see against Brazil, for them to match Brazil toe-to-toe, I mean, they showed how the character they have in their team. And I'm expecting them to go toe-to-toe with Argentina as well. But that factor of Messi is something we have to consider. And anything can happen in that match. Messi just needs 1 yard, 1 second magic. It can be a free kick. It can be anything. You understand? Or one pass that nobody will see. So that is that. Then for Croatia, they're a very disciplined team as well. I mean, I can compare Croatia to Morocco. They are very disciplined. Their midfield is so strong. They defend as a unit. And I mean, they have been doing well. I like the team spirit in them. There's no spectacular player that is outstanding, but the whole team is playing collectively well. So it's going to be a very tough game. But I feel like it's just going to be the very tiny details in the match. Maybe a mistake from one team, or somebody just lose guarding during the game,
Outside the
or
box.
that would determine, or something spectacular. You understand? Something spectacular that would end that game. And it can go either way. I can't say who will win. I mean, but I want my Messi to get to the final. I mean, Messi. I love Messi. But yeah, it's not that easy for him. Then for Morocco, France, of course, my Morocco. I want my Morocco in the final. I swear, let the dream continue. But how long can it go? I mean, you are saying the other time they should defend and counter. Yeah, that's what they've been doing. But now teams will be more aware. That's what they do. Can they keep doing that for the whole 90 minutes? Can they soak the pressure? Knowing that that's what they did against Portugal, France would definitely want to develop something to counter that. And of course, France has a lot of spectacular players that can create something, you know. So I feel like Morocco might not be able to defend for the whole 90 minutes against the France team. But again, who knows? This can happen again. So yeah, and I trust Morocco defense. Strongest defense I've ever seen in the World Cup. They considered
And their
just
keeper
one
is very good.
as in one goal from an own goal. So if their defense can stand the test of France, I see them winning on counter, because I don't see that France defense that fast. I don't think they're fast to counter I mean, I saw their loopholes against England. England had, especially in the second half, England had a lot of chances to score. I was really disappointed in their defense. I've not been impressed with their defense so far. So I feel if Morocco can defend properly, like they have been doing, and they catch them on counter, yes, they can do it. But how well can they defend for 90 minutes? That's the question. But yeah, I'm still going for Morocco. I want probably Morocco, Argentina in the final. I'm still going for Morocco. Yeah, I want Morocco to get there, and I feel like they have what it takes. And again, another thing we are not talking about now, all the keepers are good with penalties.
Exactly.
All the keepers are good
Going
with
to say
penalties.
that. If it gets down to
Like,
penalty, it's still be difficult.
Martinez for Argentina, all of
Martinez,
them are good.
Bono, all
All of them.
I feel like
no,
with Bono, he
France,
just
Maybe
has to
Loris,
go the
is
right way.
Loris that good with penalty? I don't think.
Bono just needs
Yeah,
to go the correct way. That's all he needs. He's so tall. He just needs to fall that way or fall this way. He will save it. You know.
exactly.
Yeah, Bono and Martinez are the best, obviously.
But I have my own theory about penalties because as I told Lady VAR, penalties are often won by players and not keepers, as many people think. There's an art of taking penalties, and many players just don't get it. And because of the anxiety involved, it's easier to get penalties, because the gap is so small, it's so short. Forget about the fact that keepers keep the gaps are so short that if you are able to deceive the keeper, you will definitely score. So the thing is, it's not that you're hitting so hard that the speed will be so difficult for the keeper to get, or you are deceiving him. And players have chosen to deceive keepers. Now, you deceive keepers, and sometimes your shots are always weak. So if the keeper is lucky to fall by the way you are shooting without deception, he will catch it. Your shots are weak. If you deceive him and he falls by the side, then it's easier for you to crush. And you have seen people who deceive the keepers and yet shoot to the bar. So it's all about how the players themselves do it. It's not easy to take penalties because it's so like everything is on you. The tension, the whole thing is
Yeah.
just so heavy, and that's why a lot of players miss even when they should be able to score. Yeah. So penalties are anyone's game, it goes anywhere. And
it's a lottery. Penalties
yeah.
is always a lottery, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
always a lottery.
Simple.
That's why I
Yeah.
like. That's why I like them, because we win the lottery.
Okay, so on the final note, I know this World Cup has been very difficult for anybody to predict. So your two teams going to the final. Ernest, your two
Well,
teams.
my two teams, but preferred two teams. I'll emphasize the preferred is Morocco, Croatia. I want an underdog to win this World Cup. That's has been my prayer from this World Cup started. I've always wanted all these other guys get out. Let's see some new countries in this game. So my preferred World Cup finals would be Croatia, Morocco. Any of them wins it, that's fine. But even at that, I would prefer Morocco to win it against Croatia. But Croatia also needs to win something. But these two teams will be my preferred finals. But the reality is, we don't know what's going to happen. So let's just say this is my preferred, and the possibility of it is we have France, Argentina, or Croatia, Morocco. This is the way it's going to work. I think that's the way it's going to work. I don't know how else to predict it, but that's the way I think it is.
Okay, then you prefer two teams. Definitely Morocco, and that's what I should be asking.
Yeah, preferred would be Morocco, Croatia. Obviously, I wouldn't want to meet Argentina in a final because you don't want to. Argentina are going to be 90 minutes from doing what they've been trying to do since 1986, and that's not a good position to be in if you're the opposition, right? So I would prefer Croatia because they're playing for the same as. Has Croatia even won the World Cup before? Like any time recent? I don't know if they've won.
They're a new country. They have not, since they've been created, they have not won anything.
Okay, so they've not won. So we're both on the same page. Morocco, Croatia. We're trying to make history, and I would look Croatia, Morocco preferred. Actual prediction: Croatia, Morocco win. That's there.
Okay.
Yeah, Argentina, Morocco. Argentina, Morocco. It's Argentina, Morocco. That's going to be a dream final for me. Messi in the final, an African team in the final. I see how it goes.
Okay, I get what you're trying to do there. All right, guys, thank you so much, and let's see. Good luck to the four teams actually. So let's see what happens in the final.
Yeah. Thank
It's
you
going to be
for
interesting.
having me.
Best of luck,
All
Morocco.
right.
Morocco, go
Okay.
Morocco, go Morocco, go win it, go
All
win
right.
it, go win it.
Okay, then. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having us.